Think about the best game you ever played, the one where you felt untouchable, where every pass was laser-guided, where you dribbled past 3 defenders without even thinking. Now answer this, were you trying hard? No, you probably felt empty, quiet. You weren't thinking about the score. You weren't thinking about the scout. You were just happening. Now think about your worst game, the one where you felt heavy, where the ball bounced off your shin, where you were terrified to make a mistake. You were trying your absolute hardest, and you played like a ghost. This is the care paradox. The more you consciously try, the worse your brain performs. Today we are going to hack your biology to recreate that God mode every single weekend. Here is the neuroscience. When you are nervous, anxious, or trying hard, you are activating the prefrontal cortex. This is the part of the brain responsible for self-consciousness, planning, and worrying. In football, the prefrontal cortex is your enemy. It is too slow. It processes information at 12 bits per second. The game moves at 11 million bits per second. When you think about your touch, you interrupt the signal from your brain to your feet. You create neural noise. This is why you freeze. You are literally over-processing the data. The elite do not think. They simply execute. The state you call the zone or God mode has a scientific name: transient hypofrontality. Transient means temporary. Hypo means low. Frontality means the front brain. It literally means shutting down the thinking brain. When this happens, your brain shuts off the inner voice. The fear disappears. The ego dies. Your processing speed jumps from 12 bits to 11 million bits per second. You stop being a person playing football, and you become the game itself. The question is, how do we trigger this on command? Most players wait for this to happen by accident. We do not wait. We engineer it. To enter flow, you need a specific chemical cocktail: dopamine, focus plus norepinephrine, action minus cortisol, stress. If you have too much cortisol, which comes from fear of failure, you freeze. If you have too much dopamine, which comes from hype and music, you get reckless. You need the sweet spot, the cold aggression. Here are the 3 biological triggers to force your brain into hypofrontality before the whistle blows. Trigger boot someone. The panoramic gaze. When you are stressed, your eyes go into foveal focus. You stare at one thing: the ball, the defender. Your peripheral vision goes black. This signals danger to your brain. To hack this, you must force your eyes into panoramic vision. Look at the horizon. Soften your gaze. Try to see the left corner flag and the right corner flag at the same time without moving your eyes. This signals the nervous system that you are the predator, not the prey. It instantly lowers cortisol and opens up your spatial awareness. Trigger 2. The carbon dioxide reset. Most of you hyperventilate before a game. Short, shallow breaths through the mouth. This dumps CO2 and constricts your blood vessels. Your brain gets less oxygen. You panic. You need to do the opposite. Nasal breathing only. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. This is box breathing. It hacks the vagus nerve and forces your heart rate to synchronize with your brain. You cannot enter flow if your heart is beating out of rhythm with your mind. Trigger 3. The glycogen stability. You cannot enter flow if your brain is starving. If you ate sugar 1 hour before the game, your blood glucose is crashing right now. This causes brain fog. Your prefrontal cortex wakes up to scream, "I am hungry." Flow is broken. You need stable energy. You need electrolytes. If you don't know what to eat to keep your brain fueled for 90 minutes, you are fighting a losing battle. Grab the free nutrition cheat sheet in the bio. It tells you exactly what to eat 3 hours, 1 hour, and 15 minutes before the match. Do not guess with your engine. Now let's talk about the psychological trigger. The reason you play better when you don't care is because you have removed the fear of the outcome. When you care too much, you are living in the future. What if I miss? What if we lose? What if the coach subs me off? The flow state only exists in the now. To hack this, you must adopt outcome independence. This means you accept the worst-case scenario before the game starts. Tell yourself, I might play terrible today. I might miss every shot, and I do not care. Once you accept the failure, you strip it of its power. You become dangerous because you have nothing to lose. The amateur plays to avoid mistakes. The elite plays to express dominance. When you try to avoid mistakes, your brain tightens your muscles. You move stiffly, you hesitate. And because you hesitate, you make the mistake anyway. When you don't care, your muscles relax. Your fascia becomes elastic. You attempt the risky pass because you aren't afraid of the interception. And paradoxically, because you are relaxed, the pass connects. You must train yourself to be indifferent. The stadium is loud, irrelevant. The opponent is big, irrelevant. The score is 0-0, irrelevant. There is only the ball and the space. But here is the warning. You cannot enter God mode if your software is running on broken hardware. Flow multiplies your skill. But if your skill is 0, flow times 0 is still 0. You can have the perfect mindset. But if your legs give out in the 60th minute, the flow state ends. If you are weak on the ball, the flow state ends. You need a chassis that can handle the engine. You need the physical foundation to support the mental state. This is why you need a plan. This is where the 12-week elite blueprint becomes essential. Confidence does not come from affirmations. Confidence comes from evidence. When you step on the pitch knowing you have completed the phase 1 engine work, when you know you have done the phase 2 plyometrics, when you know your nutrition is dialed in, your brain relaxes. Why? Because you know you are prepared. The blueprint builds the evidence. The evidence builds the confidence. The confidence triggers the flow. If you are walking into matches relying on luck or hope, you will never consistently find the zone. You will always be anxious because deep down, you know you didn't do the work. Anxiety is just your body telling you that you are underprepared. Eliminate the anxiety by doing the work. The blueprint removes the guesswork. You just wake up, look at the PDF, and execute the protocol. So here is your mission for the next match. I want you to try the null hypothesis. Walk onto the pitch and tell yourself, I do not care what happens today. Focus only on the mechanics. Focus on your breathing. Focus on the panoramic gaze. Focus on the space. If you miss a pass, do not react. If you score a goal, do not celebrate. Stay in the cold, dark room of the present moment. You will notice something strange. The game will feel slow. The defenders will look like they are moving in water. You will hear the sound of the ball perfectly. That is the flow state. That is where careers are made. It is not magic. It is biology. And now you have the keys to the ignition. Don't let this be another video you watch and forget. Get the nutrition cheat sheet to fix your fuel. Get the 12-week blueprint to build the machine. The link is in the description. Stop caring about the result. Start obsessing over the process. Go work.